Greetings, YouTube. Please forgive the fans. It's warm. I watched the trailer for the new Suicide Squad recently, and as far as the dark and gritty DC universe goes, as opposed to the somewhat more colorful Marvel universe they've created, it kind of makes sense that Suicide Squad is dark and gritty. It's about a team of people that are essentially disposable. I realize the comic's been around for a very long time. I think I actually may have owned a couple of Suicide Squad issues at one time. And I don't think it's ever seen the movie or television before. I think it was maybe the first time. And the basic premise is you have a squad of people that you can disavow their existence of if they fail. The Dirty Dozen, put it in comic book form. Not an original idea by any way, shape, or means, but it can still be interesting. Especially if you have a good team of bad guys that are interesting, and when you have in a super universe, you could have them have superpowers, actual superpowers, which is kind of cool. And I'm actually not completely familiar with all the characters in the trailer or the film itself, but I am familiar enough to recognize some of them, and I'm happy to see that like, for example, Killer Croc's going to get a big screen appearance. I'm a big fan of Killer Croc. Now, one of the people involved in this is Margot Robbie playing Harley Quinn. I just watched a video of Margot Robbie talking about Australian slang. It was quite charming. And she seems to be a very generally nice person. Awesome. And there's no denying that she's attractive. So it brings in the feminine to a team that is very masculine heavy. There is a bad guy that's also a woman, so we have some, but the balance is not all that great. But then again, the balance in comic books in general isn't all that great. But I have to ask, why Harley Quinn? Yes, in the modern interpretations of Harley, she's this sex kitten that's a sociopath. Used to be hooked up with the Joker. And since the Joker's in this, maybe they figured they had to have that dynamic. In the comic, she's in a relationship with Poison Ivy, so she's moved past the Joker, which is a good thing. The Joker's an ass. But let's think about this for a second. You're putting together a strike team to go after some big bad, okay? You want the strike team to be successful. You don't care if they survive, but you still want them to be successful. You want them to go in and take out the big bad. Excellent. Why do you send Harley Quinn? You can't tell me that there weren't any other women in the DC universe that had superpowers that might have been more useful to you than someone that carries a baseball bat and is wacky and crazy and quirky, that looks good in hot shorts and a tank top, or crop top rather. I get the eye candy thing, I really do. I love looking at pretty people. But if I'm putting a team together, I'm not considering whether the rest of the team has eye candy. I'm concerned with whether the team is going to succeed, and sending in someone who has really no discernible skills for a strike team seems baffling to me. Now, I realize that at one time Harley Quinn character was a psychologist. So maybe they're gonna use her as a psychologist, but she's a psychologist that's a sociopath. So I'm not sure how that's going to be useful to you, and I don't think she actually has the cognitive wherewithal to be a great negotiator or a criminal mind kind of forensic psychologist. That's not how she's portrayed in the comics, really. She's just a crazy person with a bat, or occasionally a firearm. So I wonder if somebody could explain to me why the heck they chose Harley Quinn out of all the women in the DC universe, all the bad women, all the bad guys, the villainesses that they could have used in Suicide Squad. Why did they pick her? Is it purely fan base pandering? Is that really what they did? Because I'm baffled. Really, I am.